Today, we are going to learn about the simple past tense, one of the most important tenses in English when we talk about actions that happened before now. We use the simple past to talk about actions or situations that started and finished in the past. For example, I visited my grandmother yesterday. She watched a movie last night. They played soccer on Saturday. Let's begin with regular verbs. Regular verbs form the simple past by adding ed at the end. For example, walk becomes walked, study becomes studied, clean becomes cleaned. These verbs follow the same pattern, which makes them easy to recognize. Now let's talk about irregular verbs. Irregular verbs do not follow the ed rule. They change completely. For example, go becomes went, eat becomes ate, see becomes saw, have becomes had. It's important to memorize irregular verbs because their past forms are unique. Next, let's look at the negative form in the simple past. To make a sentence negative, we use did not or the contraction didn't, followed by the base form of the verb. For example, I did not go to school. She didn't eat breakfast. They didn't play video games. Notice that the main verb returns to its base form. We never say didn't went or didn't ate. Now let's talk about questions in the simple past. To ask a question, we use did at the beginning, followed by the subject and the base form of the verb. For example, did you study yesterday? Did he visit his parents? Did they watch the game? Again, the main verb always stays in base form. We also use the verb to be in the simple past, was and were. For example, I was tired. She was at home. They were late. For the negative form we say, I was not or I wasn't. They were not or they weren't. For questions we ask, was he sick? Were you at school? Was it cold? Now let's look at common time expressions we use with the simple past. Yesterday, last night, last week, 2 days ago, in 2010, when I was a child. These expressions help us understand when the action happened. Here are some examples in context. I watched a documentary last night. She didn't finish her homework. Did you travel last summer? We were at the concert yesterday. He wasn't ready for the test. They went to the beach 2 weeks ago. The simple past is everywhere in English. We use it to tell stories, to describe past experiences, to talk about things that happened once or repeated actions that are no longer true. Now you know how to form regular and irregular verbs, make negative sentences, ask questions, and use the verb to be in the past.